What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over a different type of ETF. This is TQQQ, the ProShares UltraPro of the ticker symbol QQQ. Now this is a 3-time leveraged ETF. There's a lot of risk with this. It can decay over time. I just want to show you, looking at this, the prospectus stated and objectives. As you see here, it's a 3 times daily performance of the NASDAQ 100. The fund invests its financial instruments and the ProShare advisors believes in combination with their daily target. What this means is that 80% of the components are going to be within the NASDAQ. And basically what you are getting is a high leverage, high risk technology portfolio. I think it's very interesting. It's very useful. And I will give you some examples of why I think this is good. But first, let's go into the composition. And you have to be a very strong-willed investor to deal with the ups and downs of an investment like this. So just to review, the TQQ is NASDAQ 100, it's triple leveraged, and it decays over time. You need to understand that because you can lose 100% of your investment. So I advise you, maintain a smart allocation, maybe 5% max to a fund like this, and there are certain times where it makes sense to buy this. Looking at the holdings, it shows 126 with the top 10 50% right here. So you are investing in TQQ. You get Apple, you get Microsoft, you get United States Treasury bills, Nvidia, NASDAQ 100 index swap, Amazon, the NASDAQ 100 index swap, and then once again the Treasury bills. If we bring up all the holdings by weight, you will see that we have mostly technology companies in here. Look to the left of the symbol, Apple, Microsoft at 5 or 6%, Broadcom 3%, Meta, Netflix, Costco, Tesla at 2%, Google, PLTR, TMUS, Cisco, Pepsi, and the list goes on and on. But once you get past basically PLTR, it's less than 1% per holding in there. Now this is an interesting fund, and I want to show you the chart. It's passive managed. The asset classification shows miscellaneous. And before we get into this, I want to show you the distribution expenses after the chart. This mirrors QQQ. So when you're buying this, you need to make sure that you are paying attention to QQQ. And I would not just buy TQQQ based on that. You need to follow what the ETF is doing of QQQ to make your judgment if you're going to buy this. Because what I want to explain is that if QQQ goes down 3%, TQQQ, this ETF, will go down 3 times, which is 9%. So you always have to make sure that you are monitoring your risk when you are buying this fund. It is not something for the faint of heart, and it can go to zero. So if QQQ goes down 20%, this will go down 60% in value. So, and vice versa. If it goes up 20%, the Qs, this will go up 60%. So now that we got that out of the way with all the risks, etc., you do get a distribution yield of 1.79%. You are paying a hefty gross expense ratio at 0.97%. For that risk comes reward. So if it goes up 1%, you make 3%. If it goes down 1%, you lose 3%. That is how the triple Qs work. Rating and analysis. In the short term, it's ranked weak, neutral, and weak for the long-term performance. This is not something I would hold long-term. It is something that I would trade when the markets are underperforming and you think that there's going to be a turnaround. So I want to show you why I think that this is important. If you held triple Qs, it shows you would have made a $10,000 investment in 2014. It would be worth over $130,000 because of that triple leverage risk. So very interesting. The life of the fund has earned the NAV return 38%. The last 10 years, 28 to 29%. The last 5 years, 26% returns. This is a fund that, if used correctly, can grow your portfolio exponentially. I choose Triple Q for multiple reasons. It's the ProShares, it's passively managed, net assets is $21 billion, and the gross expense ratio is 0.97, which is very competitive. The net expense ratio ends up being 0.84%, which is the fees you will pay. But just to reiterate, when you buy triple Qs, you were buying QQQ, but you were getting a triple leverage product. So you can see you need to watch what the Qs are doing when you are buying triple Qs. So be cautious with that. Next, going over the statistics of it. Institutional ownership, basically minimal, 1.8%. This is an ETF, open-end investment company. And when you compare it to its miscellaneous medium, it's pretty competitive, 0.84 versus 0.95, and pretty similar with the gross expense ratio. I like to use this to day trade, to buy and sell with it, and I think it's something that you should be aware of for your own investing because it can be used in times of turmoil. For example, I just want to show you on the chart a month ago. So we're gonna go 3 months, but it's really since April, the time of this recording. It's almost the end of May, so it's been about 2 months. If you were to be buying QQQ and then buying TQQQ instead at $40, you have almost doubled your investment. Now, when we compare this to QQQ, let me just show you so you can get a comparison here. This is the one-time leverage ETF. You'd be buying at $415 and you would have made 100 points, which is a good gain, but it's nominal compared to TQQQ because of that triple leverage factor. On the flip side, if you were to buy, and it was, let's say, 2022 when we had that massive sell-off, let's go back to it right here just to show you. 2022, let's go back 5 years just to see this range. Right in here, it was trading at $90 per share, sold all the way off to $17 per share. I just want to show you the reality that if QQQ underperforms and pulls back about 20 to 25%, triple Q will pull back about 75 to 80%. So meanwhile, you can get these great gains. You have to be aware that you can get massive losses investing in TQQQ. Please let me know if this is something that you invest in. I would love to hear about it in the comments section below. When I first started this channel, I was posting my day trading experiences, and then it started to grow into much more. I'm going to show you everything that I have to offer on here, starting with the free playlist first. Within the playlist tab, you will gain access to my Fidelity index funds, ETFs, and investments, where I go through a bunch of different funds. I do that as well for Vanguard investments. I also have investing basics for beginners. I go into my day trading P&L of 2023, 2024, where I made over $80,000, 2025, where I'm currently up over $55,000 year to date. I have my Fidelity Active Trader Pro setup if you want to learn how to set up and day trade. And I also offer to exclusive membership access where you gain special perks. Within this, there are